Hello, everyone, and welcome to, well, not a quick scan session, but a reveal session, which is unusual, but we decided to do it this time anyway, just because this review is so nice. It's if you have been seeing our live stream for the past few months already, then you may have seen a glimpse of the new scanner. But today is the day that we actually launching it. Which means that everyone can now use the new scanner. And what do you mean by everyone? Well, we've included something with the TA scanner in every plan. So previously, it was only available in Essential and a better version in Premium, but we've now also added a trial version in the basic plan so that if you're unsure whether or not it can find anything for you, well, just try the basic one and it will scan some alerts for you. And if you think that you can make any money from it, then obviously it would be time to upgrade. But what is the TA scanner? What is it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's a beast. Let me get the right screen. Here it is. Ta-da. Wow, it just looks like the quick scanner. That's correct. It's similar to the quick scanner. However, in the quick scanner, we used to have only scannings for drops, rises, and fat fingers. And many people asked us, can we do this on technical indicators as well? Like I want to set an alert on technical indicators or based on some rules. I want to scan the market, but it's too time consuming to do this by hand. So build us a scanner. And that's exactly what we did. Many people asked us for like partial indicators, like, oh, can you just do RSI, or can you just do Bollinger Band, or can you just do MACD? And we always said, no, we can't do that. We have to do it all at once with all indicators. So that's what we did, and that's why it took a very long time to create this. Now, if you're wondering, like, how do I get this? If you don't have this yet, go over to the widgets part and find the TA scanner. If you've already previously used the quick scanner, then it will now be renamed to TA scanner, and you should already have it on your screen. Now, let me just remove it and add it back, because when you add it back, it usually comes down to one of these bottom parts. And I would strongly suggest it to just either move it to the sidebar so you can easily toggle it like so, or to another vertical widget. Just like if you if you start with Altrady, then this is where it will be anyway. Okay, so that's how you get the widget started. And then usually it's off. You don't have any rules. If you already have some rules, that could be because there's a migration from the quick scanner happening to the TA scanner. And you may need to adjust those rules if you already have them. So how do we do that? If you don't have any rules, or if you want to create some new rules, you click on the little drop-down part, and then you can click on create. We also have an option for importing. So if you know someone that has shared their settings, then you can click on the import button and you can import some rules that they are using. And you can obviously also share yours. So if you've got a great set of rules and you don't mind sharing them, because a lot of people say, oh, these are my rules, and if everyone has these rules, then my strategy will no longer work. Well, probably it won't be that, but you can share it and earn some nice street credits, I suppose. So yeah, click on the drop-down menu to add some new rules. Then you click on the create button. Now, previously in the quick scanner, it was always like, figure it out. Like, open up the form and here are the settings and figure it out. Well, we decided that would not be the way to go anymore. So in this case, we decided to create some templates for you. The green crypto guy is asking, is this the stream that will be tonight? No, tonight there's another one, but that tonight one will be in Dutch for people that are Dutch speaking. If you prefer to listen to me in Dutch, then come back at 8 o'clock Dutch time. So these are some quick templates that you can use. So whether you are trading a moving average pullback or combined with the MACD, the Bollinger Band reversion, MACD expansion, ADX breakout, RSI pullback, stochastic RSI, CCI reversal, volume squeeze, the quick scan capitulation, and the quick scan blow off. Like, if you're unsure what these things do, there will be a page written about all of these individual ones, and we will also try to make videos for each single strategy. However, we didn't want to postpone releasing this before we actually had that in place. But for example, I'm trading live with the Bollinger Band reversal strategy, so that's the one that will be showing today. You can always start from scratch, of course. If you say, I already have a strategy, none of these strategies match, let me just do my own, that's fine. Just click on start from scratch. But in this case, I'll just click on Bollinger Band reversal, and then it just fills it in for me automatically. I mean, we could check, like, if you start from scratch, and this is what you would get. And then you can still select the preset from there. So if you made a mistake, you can go to the quick templates and still add it. Not a problem. So first off, you should give it a name. This can be any name of your strategy, but it would be good to name it to something that you can recognize easily, because this is also what will be in the alerts when we start the scanner. Then obviously you have to select your exchange. In this case, I'll select Binance Futures because that's what I normally use in the live stream when I trade Bollinger Band reversal. And then you have to select a quote currency. Now the quote currency is limited to the ones that are available for this exchange. So if you don't see the quote currency, then probably you need to change to the actual exchange that you wanted to. But in this case, we will be using USDT. And then you can also select timeframes. You can select multiple timeframes. You don't need to stick to one. In this case, I'll change it to a 3 and 5 minutes. Just for the examples, that's also what we use in the Thursday live streams. Let me just get a quick drink. Sorry, I still suffer from a cold a bit. So yeah, what does this do? So this strategy has two directions that you can trade on. So we have the long direction and we have the short direction. Does that mean that all your strategies need to have long and short? No. Doesn't mean that I have to use the name long and short. No, you can just name this as enter here, or whatever it is that you'd like to see. You can change that name. And this is again important because together with the name and your rule that fires, you will see that in the list. So it's very important to name these things correctly so that they mean something to you. And it's the same for the color. So do I need to have green for long and red for short? No, you can have a color that you like. Just pick one that makes sense for your strategy. And obviously you can also add multiple rules. So you can continue to add more rules. Now, if you have, if you've added a rule that you don't want, then just click on the drop down and click on delete, or right click, also fine, works the same way. It doesn't really matter which order you use them in, long or short. You don't need to reorder per se. It has no meaning. All rules will be applied in an or fashion. So you can go long or short. You can even go long and short. It can trigger both. And then it starts with the rules. So previously we only had drops, rises, and fat fingers in specific time frames. You could only select one time frame, not multiple. And you could only and then you would specify the exchange, the currencies, and some volumes and things like that. But in this case, you can do so much more. So when you click on the first item, when you click on it, this pop-up will appear, and you can see which indicators we have. We currently have 59 indicators that you can select from, but there will be more added over time. And if you have some kind of request for indicators that you are using and they're not in here, let us know. And if they are very easy to add, then we can add those in here. Otherwise, we might need to wait for a later date to add them. But as you can see, it's a very vast list already. And this will be expanding over time. So we have some price indicators. These are just your basic open, high, low, close prices. And they're based on the price scale. This matters because this also matters to what you can compare it to, which we'll come to later. Then we have the moving averages. So they're nicely grouped together. This is for the simple moving averages. And you can see that we've selected some variations of the moving average that are used typically in trading in the markets. Similar for the exponential moving average. And a weighted moving average. And like I said, we can add more if you have any specific requests, no problem. We also have the oscillators. Oscillators are like leading indicators, like the RSI, stochastic RSI, the commodity channel index, and the William percent range and momentum. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what these do, I would suggest to do some research into typical strategies and find those indicators with it. For example, if you have ChatGPT, you can also feed it our documentation page, which we will link to, and it can create some nice rules for you using AI. Isn't that great? Like I said before, we have the MACD as well. So you can select all these things, and you can still see these have all got the price scales. Is it possible to use the trend color change of the Heiken and Ashi candles in your scanner? We currently don't. That's a good question. We currently don't support Heiken and Ashi candles in this scanner, but that's a good point. We could add that actually. And then obviously a trend color change of the Heiken and Ashi would make sense as an indicator. But a simple moving average on a Heiken and Ashi candle is also interesting. So very good question. We'll add that to the list so that we can add a candle type. Then we have the trends, your trend indicators, and if you've been using the quick scanner, then you're like, hey, but I was using it and it was nice and I wanted to see the drops and the rises and all that stuff. They are still in here, and as you can see here, they are a percentage based price type or a value type. So you can still scan those fat fingers. They're still in here. Don't worry. We didn't change or we didn't remove anything. We just improved it. And it just looks a little bit different now. So yeah, we've already selected the close. Then you can select the operator on what you want to compare it to. So in this case, this would be less than or equal, greater than equal, equals, or not equal. I'm pretty sure that people that have some kind of maths in their school, high school, that you're familiar with these notations. And then you can compare it to another indicator. And as you can see now, the list is only 31. That's because of the scale. You can only compare it to something on the same scale. So in this case, this is a price scale. So you can compare it to anything on the same price scale. Means you can compare a Bollinger Band to another Bollinger Band, or a Bollinger Band and a moving average together, or anything that has price scale you can match together. Obviously, you can also match a close to a fixed value. If you want to do that, then you just click this one, and then you can say the price needs to be higher than 70,000, for example. And if you want to switch back, then you can switch back to Bollinger Band upper in this case. As you can see, we've done that for the RSI. So the RSI is selected here, and that one is a numeric value, but you can also change it and compare it to other oscillators. So if you want to do like crossovers, for example, if you want to see when the RSI 9 crosses over with the 25, you can build that in. So it's very powerful. It's a very powerful way of defining your rules. Now you can apply an and an or rule. This is important to understand that if you truly want to trigger things on ors, then you most likely want to add another rule. But there is, for example, a possibility where you say, I want the close to be that and the RSI to be that, or the RSI or the stochastic RSI to be that. So one of the two can be true. And that means that you can then switch to a short. If you want to add more conditions, you can add more conditions, and you can also remove them. Then obviously you can set alerts. If you don't know what they sound like, then just press the play button and you can see if there's anything that you can bear to listen to when this thing goes off, because trust me, there will be a lot going off if you've selected the 3 and 5 minute time frame, for example. You can also enable push notifications if you want, and disable them as well. And that means that you will get a nice notification in the upper corner when a alert comes in. So that means that if you don't have Altrady in your foreground, which I can't understand you wouldn't, but if you do have other things to do and you want to get notified, then you get this pop-up notification. And when you click on that, it will open up the app into the chart. So these are your standard filters. There are some more filters that you can apply. When you click on these, you can change the filters. You can add a volume filter. You can add a blacklist or a whitelist. You can't use both, obviously. And you can also select flat candles. What is flat candles? That's an important thing. Oh, actually, for the volume, you can specify anything of the pre-filtered ones. Like so, and you can say, yeah, but I don't want 1 million, I want 2 million. Okay, well, that's not in this list. If you really wanted that, then I believe, yeah, you can use the volume one right here. So you can set it up with a rule like that. But if you're like okay with the presets, then they're quickly usable and just makes it easier. Flat candles is candles on the time frame. So if you're on a 3 minute time frame, for example, flat candles just counts the number of candles without any trades, or with where the price of open, close, high, low is exactly the same. So no trades took place, because those types of markets, they might not be so meaningful on the small time frames, and you just want to filter those out. Or it can also help you to filter out those barcode charts, like USDC to USDT conversion. Like, for example, you don't really want that. This just scans for the last 60 candles. So if you say 10, then there can only be 10 flat candles in the last 60. If you do 30, then half of the candles can be like that. So you have to play with that to see if you get too many alerts or too little alerts if you want that. but you can also just leave it blank and just remove it from there. The whitelist will scan for the base currencies, because you've already selected quote currencies. You can select specific base currencies in this list. And you can also do that with a blacklist, where you say, I don't want to see USDC compared to USDT. It means nothing to me. Then, for example, you can do that. And you can just disable those again if you want. When you're done, you can hit save. And now you can see that it immediately starts scanning for you and starts notifying you about these markets. Now, the beauty of this is that if you've been using other types of scanners, is that you could see links that would open up in Altrady. But obviously, it's just so nice to be able to get the alert in Altrady, click on it, and have your option to open it in the current tab. Like right now, I'm in the current tab, but I can also open it by holding Control or Command, depending on the system that you're using. And it opens up in a new tab. Another thing that we've changed in the TA scanner that we didn't have in the quick scanner is to see which ones we've actually clicked on and seen, which is a great improvement, I say, because especially with the quick scanner, they were sometimes getting so many in, and I would be clicking the same market twice, losing valuable time, of course. Now, as I mentioned before, when doing these settings, the label that you give your strategy is important, and the label that you give your rule is important. Now, you can also see that I have two resolutions selected. So I have 5 minute and 3 minute. So it also shows which rule actually triggered it. And then when you click on it, it also changes to that specific resolution. So you can see here, this was 3 minutes and this is 5 minutes. So again, it helps you to get into this market quickly, to analyze it quickly. Obviously, we also show you a little bit what the chart does. And especially if you've been watching our live stream, then you know that we love to see these types of markets where the market just crashes out of the Bollinger Band and starts alerting you like crazy. These are the ones that we like. Another handy thing that we added is the exact candle that generated the notification. So in this case, you can see, oh, this was a few minutes ago. If I change to another market, you can still see that a few minutes ago, this alert went off and it was on this candle. So it's not on this candle. So you can see whether you're still in time or too late. And you also have the time. If you want to see the exact time, you can just hover over it and you see the exact time and second this alert was generated. The colors that you give it also update the colors of this alert. Now, I don't have any longs in here, but if it was a long, then it would be green for me. And the notification icon would also be green. So another great visual way to see the data in here. Another thing to mention about the labels that you see here. So if you make them bigger, you can see them all. These labels are what actually triggered your rule. So if you make them big, you can see them correctly, and over time you'll probably be able to train your eyes to spot the exact indicator that means the most to you. You can again see if there are new notifications in here. You can see them here. If you have this one there, then it would open it up, and as soon as you click it, it shows you, oh yeah, you've seen them, and it removes the counter, and otherwise it starts to count again. Again, giving you feedback on where you are in your analysis of which market you want to trade. We also have the option to go to the 3-dot menu, and you can exclude the market, which will just add it to the blacklist. And you can also mute it for a few candles. You can mute it for 3 candles, 5 candles, or 10 candles, meaning that this market will not trigger again or not alert you again for the duration of these amounts of candles. Because sometimes when you see a market, it might trigger every minute because it's still outside the Bollinger Band in this case, or it's still above a certain price, and you don't really want to be notified for it for that long unless it's within new candles. So this is a great way to to silence it for a bit. Obviously, you can also just add it to your watch list. So if you're not ready to trade it right now, or if you really like it, then add it to your watch list. And once it's added, you can see that it now has a nice little label here. So that's also a nice way to spot markets that you have extra feeling with. The other difference that we have with the old scanner and the new scanner is that previously you could only have one strategy active, but in this case you can also have multiple ones. Now this is exactly what I meant. Like if you have a conversion from the old one, then you get this error message. You just simply have to change it correctly. This should be 2, and yeah, I have to select that, and I have to do that for all of them. All of them are correct now. So now I can save it. And now I have 2 strategies active. And you can see that they're coming in now. You see fast drops and Bollinger Band reversal. Yeah. Oh, it seems like I didn't migrate my colors correctly. So I just have to set this up again. When you do the conversion, it should be there, but this was a conversion from a previous version, so it should. Yeah, and now you can see the nice colors here. So you can see the colors change based on the indicator that was used, giving you even more feedback on what it is that you're actually looking at. And obviously this comes with training your eyes, training your mindset on all these little things that we have to offer. But yeah, like I said, you can enable multiple. You can also disable them. When you this is the same. When you enable them, you can also say just turn it off for a little bit. I'm busy. I'm going to do something else. And then when you enable them again, it remembers which ones you've used before, and it will just enable those. So it's a quick toggle. Another nice way to just, pause it for a minute, to pause everything, not a single mute, but just a total mute. Then when you click on this button, you can edit it, you can duplicate it, and you can share it or delete it. If you want to share it, that would be very nice. All you have to do is give people this link. When they click on it, people will be asked to import this. And when you import it, it will be added to your list. Whew. Wow. That's something, right? So in a very, probably a little bit rushed, like, I tried to fit this in half an hour and it works. This is what the quick scanner has to offer. Now, obviously I explained everything that I could in a very short amount of time. So if you want to learn more about this in your own time and read about it, then we have on our support channel, we have a TA scanner document that explains everything that we have right here. How you set it up, exactly which steps to take, step by step, explain everything to you. How you can start with the quick scan settings, how the rules work. For each of the templates to see what they do. how you create the custom strategies with the global filters, building the rules, and yeah, what if you skipped the math class where you were never told what these mean, then this is where you can find that as well. Also, how the AND and OR logic works. And again, if you use multiple rules, then you can combine ANDs and ORs with the correct priority. Price indicators are based on the OHLC candles, so the high open, high, low, close, not Heiken Ashi candles, but I really like that suggestion. How you manage your strategies, all that stuff is in here. Also some troubleshooting. So if you have some issues, please check these. And if you can't find what you're looking for, there's always this button that you can press, and you can chat with real people. Now we have some AI in here if you use articles in search, but if you just message, then you'll speak to a human. Unlike with many other platforms, our service desk is fully humanized. No need to prompt, no need to tell a bot that you want to speak to a human. No frustrations like that. I get really frustrated with that. I wouldn't want to put it on you. So that's why we always have actual humans that can help you out. And they are 24/7. If it's not only with the questions for Quick Scanner, by the way, or TA Scanner, any questions that you have that you will be able to support you with. So now that you've seen all that, like, okay, great, what's the pricing? Well, if you look at the question was, does it have buy and sell alerts? It has alerts that you configure. If you want to do, like in this case, everything here for me would be a buy and a sell alert. So if you change the name to, instead of long and short, you can say buy and sell. It's really up to you. Like, when do you decide to buy and when do you decide to sell? Right. So that's it gives you that freedom. Okay, so for the pricing, well, the normal pricing is basic, essential, premium. The Quick Scanner used to be in there. Obviously, it's still in there using the drops and rises and fat finger filters in the new TA Scanner. The TA Scanner you have here and TA Scanner Premium, they are in there. And you have the TA Scanner Basic now in Basic. Let me just quickly go over the limits. So these are the plan limits. If you have a basic account, you can have one active strategy, one rule, or two conditions. You can have 2 time frames, 2 minutes or 5 minutes and 10 minutes. And you can have one exchange selected, one quote currency. And the refresh rate is actually a 1 for the for the Quick Scanner. The flat candles filter is not included in this one, and you only get a maximum of 5 alerts per hour. So if you receive 5 alerts in the first 5 seconds, then you have to wait another hour before you get new signals. Obviously, there will be more signals coming, but you just won't receive them. If you want to get all of them, then you'd have to upgrade to either the essential package or the premium package, where you see the we've added more limits, like 2 active strategies, 3 rules, 5 conditions, more time frames that you can select from, more exchanges that you can have active at the same time, more quote currencies, flat candles are available, and it's unlimited. Then you have the premium with 10 active strategies, 5 rules, 10 conditions per rule, and all the time frames are in there, even the really high ones. And yeah, so those are the limits. Now, if you're on basic and you're like, yeah, Ben, it's nice that you have this, but I only use basic. I'm on 28 euros a month, or dollars if you're on $32, roughly $32. We don't know exactly what it is right now because it's the exchange rate. But yeah, it's nice. I'm not going to upgrade to premium just to get the premium scanner. We've had that question before, where people like, I really like the quick scanner, but it's not worth it for me. I won't be able to pay this much and make a profit in the month. So we understood that, and we said, okay, well, if you still want a better TA scanner, then you can either upgrade to Essential, where you get the Essential TA scanner. But if you say, no, I really do like that premium TA scanner, I really do like all the limits that one has to offer, then you can upgrade to the Pro plan add-on for 30 euros a month. So instead of having to pay the full 90, you only have to pay 30 euros extra. If you're on Essential and you have the same feeling, like 90, a little bit too much, then you can also upgrade to the TA Scanner Pro package. But instead of 30, it will only be 20 euros for Essential users. So if you have Essential, it's a 20 euro upgrade. If you have Basic, it's a 30 euro upgrade. And if you have Basic and you want an improved TA scanner, then it's a 22 euro upgrade to Essential, and you get all this extra stuff with it as well. So this is a really, really high value upgrade. If you're on Basic and you like the scanner, then this Essential package is a really good, a good upgrade. Obviously, we also have the backtesting add-on for 10 euros a month. Another thing that we are going to do now, or tonight, or midnight tonight, UTC, is to launch a discount campaign, which will be live for 7 days, giving you extra discounts. So these are not the discounted prices just yet. These are the annual discount prices that are that normally apply. But we're adding another discount, which more information will be in your email tomorrow, and you will also see it inside the app. What your promotion is. If you already have a plan that runs, you can see what your upgrade would be, and it's a personalized upgrade, right? So if you still have some credits left, then you get some discounts. But just click on the button, doesn't hurt. You will see it in the app what exactly the price would be for you to upgrade or to renew. Yeah, so that's the pricing and the plan limits. Now I have some time for more questions. If anyone is still listening with me, please let me know if you have any questions, and I will be able to answer them right now. And if not, I would invite you tomorrow to our live stream where I will be using these live. Like, I'm not going to be trading live today, but if you want to see me how I use this live, then join us tomorrow. Okay, just waiting a few more minutes to see if anyone has any questions. And as you can see, the scanner is going crazy. That one is not waiting to tell me, hey, look, these are the ones to trade. Can we watch it again calmly? Well, this is a YouTube live stream, so as soon as the live stream is over, you can watch it again and again and again and again and again. And you can even slow down the speed to half speed, and then you can watch it again very slowly in your own time, in your own pace. And obviously, you can also watch it relaxed or read relaxed in the documentation, where it's a step-by-step part and you don't have to miss anything. I'm sorry for rushing through it a little bit, but I just really wanted to show you all the features that it has, and and not get you tied to the PC or to the screen for several hours. So yeah, and it is right now. If you don't see this yet, make sure that you're on on version 5.2.2. Yeah, that's also important. If you don't see 5.2.2, then you need to either reload or update by going to altrady.com/download, and you can download the latest version of the app. Also, if you're new to this type of scanner and you're like, I don't know how to do this, you can also do some paper trading with the futures account now. So if you're like going long and short, we've also added paper trading for futures. This was released a few days ago. So I'm just mentioning it again in case you've missed it, but it's a great way to get your hands dirty with this scanner. Thank you for the kind words, George. If there are no more questions, then I will leave it at that. And hopefully see you tomorrow at the live stream where we'll show this beast off in real time, real trades, real money. Yeah. And then it's with Rafa as well. So today Rafa wasn't here, but Rafa will be there tomorrow. Also, for if there are still any Dutch people listening and you're like, oh, this, I understand a little, my English is not that bad, but I prefer it in Dutch. At 8 o'clock tonight, I will be back. So 8 o'clock Dutch time, I will be back doing this in Dutch and showing you exactly how to do it step by step. All right, that's it for now. And then I'll hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you all for watching and see you on the next one.